Composed of high school students in grades 10 through 12, the Wind Ensemble is our school's elite performance ensemble. Created in 2015, the Wind Ensemble has earned all superior ratings at Alabama State Music Performance Assessment and was featured last year at the Alabama Music Educators in Service Conference in Birmingham, Alabama. Before we continue with our festive Halloween-themed concert, and even though we are dressed in costume, the Wind Ensemble would like to take a moment to honor America and our service men and women who bravely defend her liberty. Please welcome to the stage the Southside High School Wind Ensemble and their conductor, Mr. Matt Weaver. Each year, on the 11th day of the 11th month, the United States celebrates and honors all those who have served our country. What began as Armistice Day to remember the end of the First World War later became what we now observe as Veterans Day. On Wednesday, November the 7th, we invite you all to attend both the Southside High School's Veterans Day program at 9 a.m. in the Southside High School Auditorium and the City of Gadsden's Veterans Day Parade down Broad Street. Both of these events honoring our nation's heroes will feature performances by the Southside Band. Arranged now by Bob Loudon, the Armed Forces Salute, featuring the service songs of each branch of the United States military. To all of our veterans in the audience tonight, we invite you to please stand and be recognized when you hear your service branch's song. And we thank you for your service. Ladies and gentlemen, the Southside Wind Ensemble and the Armed Forces Salute. States Marine Corps. States Navy. We invite you to stand and honor America this evening and honor these veterans. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Switching back now to a spookier and festive atmosphere. What could be more appropriate to help us paint a picture in sound of Halloween than the famous French Impressionist composer Camille Saint-Saëns. Saint-Saëns was one of the numerous younger musicians who received significant encouragement and artistic support from Frank Liszt, whose influence is apparent in many of his works. It is, in fact, Liszt who is credited with the invention of the symphonic poem form, which Saint-Saëns employs in this work, the Danse Macabre, or Dance of Death. It's the third of Saint-Saëns' 4 symphonic poems. The broad waltz theme is a variation on the Dies Irae, the ancient liturgical chant for the dead. The image of the death as a fiddler appears in the works of several composers, but in none is it more effective than in this piece. The clock strikes midnight. Death tunes up, then begins his waltz. A second theme on the xylophone evokes the skeletal celebrants, who become more and more energetic until, with a cock's crow, they disperse and vanish. Please welcome to the stage our second guest conductor this evening, Mrs. Rebecca Hammock, as she leads the wind ensemble to Camille Saint-Saëns' Dance Macabre. With his chilling prose and unrivaled mastery of the morose and macabre, Edgar Allan Poe has become a global icon of modern literature and pop culture. Best known for his Gothic horror tales, Poe's stories are the basis of countless films and TV episodes. 4 cities claim this literary legend as their own: Baltimore, Richmond, Philadelphia, and New York. Today, his image appears on everything from the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album cover to lunchboxes, bobbleheads, socks, and an NFL team. Of his over 100 short stories, none is more popular than The Raven, written in 1845. Nevermore is Brian Balmage's eerie and frantic musical setting to this iconic work. We are pleased this evening to have with us, performing excerpts from Poe, Southside Theater director Mr. Jason Bozeman. And now, Brian Balmage's Nevermore.
Once upon a midnight's dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. 'Tis some visitor, I muttered, tapping at my chamber door, only this, and nothing more. Ah, distantly I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, Vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. Sir, said I, or Madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the last, as I was napping, so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping, tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door, darkness there, nothing more. Open here I flung the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mien of lord or lady, perched upon the chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door, perched and set, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. Though thy crest be shorn and shaven thou, I said, art surely thou no raven, ghastly, grim, and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore? Then tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word or sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked upstarting, get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken, quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas above my chamber door.
If only I could get a voice like that. Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been fantastic to have you out with us this evening, and we thank you for supporting not only the band here at Southside High School, but the arts. The musicians that you've enjoyed tonight are all students, and the demands on their time, attention, and even their lives are very great. Being in the band and studying music offers a unique and immensely important aspect to any child's education. Through music and the arts, we learn to express the innermost complexities of our reality and our experience. And by supporting the arts, you're not only making an investment in a program, but in a young person's future. Thank you for being with us here tonight, and we hope that you've enjoyed yourself. Before we conclude tonight's concert, we would like to take an opportunity to thank some of the exceptional and generous people who have supported us tonight. First, we want to thank all the administration and staff of the beautiful Mort Glosser Amphitheater in downtown Gadsden. Let's hear it for this beautiful venue. We also want to thank our school administration and principals and our faculty member. Are there any faculty members with us here tonight? I know I saw Coach Patton over here earlier, and of course, let's hear it from Mr. Smith and Mr. Bozeman. And Ms. Patricia right there. Ms. Russell. Am I missing anyone?
Ladies and gentlemen, before we leave this evening, we want to award the winners of our costume contest. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming.